While doing part 3 of this video series, I forgot to show you the article that Polo pointed out to me, and this is the reason why you need to specify the blocking at the incoming port as well, not just as the one, just in case for reference. Now, what I did since then is I went ahead and installed or migrated to PF Blocker NG version 3. Couple of interesting things. First, when you do the actual migration, if you have there was a setting here, let me find it. Actually, it's right here. Because I have these keep settings enabled, it actually took the stuff I have done before and put it in here. There's also an option here on a wizard that you can click on it, and this will erase everything that you have done so far. So you can go either way. You can do the wizard and start all over again. Remember, you will have to put that max mine key in there if you do so, or you can do as I did and migrated that. Couple of differences in this thing. Well, the most notorious one is that the DNS blocking is enabled by default, and they use some data on the background to protect you from having you to use a fake DNS or a poison DNS resolver that will send you into the wrong place, even though you are pointing to the right site that you want to do. It has reports, and more on that later. Let me actually show you something else. Let me go into one thing is that the menus change quite a bit, but you need to click here on the IP in order to show the option for GeoIP. And when you do that, this is the panel that you are presented in. I changed the default to deny both, but besides doing that, you actually need to go, let's say that I go to Europe. When you go into this list for the aliases, you still need to, they are completely empty, so you still need to select what countries you actually want to block, if you want to block any, right? There's an option for enabling floating, and when you do, then your rules for PF Blocker NG will be put as floating rules, and they will be here. Okay, remember, you need to have edited those IPs, and this is how you can, if you hover into any one of these, you can see the IP ranges that are involved into this, but you are not shown all of them at the first couple of thousands of those, right? So again, I like this option because it does more for you, and it has this particular list of these are kind of offenders, you know, this list abuse.fiodo, I don't know how you pronounce that, or you know, CINS Army, and all these spamus, all these lists, Talos, all these lists of IPs that are not to be bad are blocked automatically on that list. When you go on the report, you'll see this in action. I'm covering the IPs here, but you'll see that it's already blocking some IPs. You can actually click on the plus sign in case that you want to whitelist this because it's something that you need or whatever. You can click on the plus sign and actually whitelist it from here. If you go to the system panel, I'm trying to avoid showing the IP address here, but you'll see that I don't think that the previous version had this, or if I had it, I never saw it before. But this is really telling you at a glance what is it doing. It blocked 133 attempts, right? And which nothing happened on the bad DNS, thank goodness, right? So you can hover on it and see, you know, this separated by geography. Pretty cool. After this learning. I hope I have shared with you some of the things in here, and I think that we need to take responsibility of our networks at home and make them a bit more secure, particularly if we are involved with security. And I think that this package of pfblocker-ng is something that I encourage you to consider adding to it.